Okay, guys, this is a wrap up. As you know, with my normal coverage, I like to just show coverage where I'm streaming, quasi streaming. I upload after each room a little bit of excerpts for you guys to kind of get the feel of being there. And then at the end of the day, that's when I kind of chime in, kind of make the daily coverage not so much about me, giving you guys a firsthand look as if you were here. And then at night, I'll give you my little synopsis of what I've seen. And this is the first time I've done a synopsis before the show even starts, but I was privileged to go see a few things today, even before the show started. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of my feedback, what I saw and heard. First thing I did was visit the Estalon room for a scheduled press demo. And I was there early so I could get the center seat and hear these. A friend of mine has actually already ordered these Estalon Extreme Mark IIs, which this was their debut at a show, and beautiful looking. The Estalons are pieces of art, independent of their performance. It's a perfect combination of a speaker design that everything with their cabinet design has a function behind it. It's not just done for looks. The narrow baffling and controlling resonances, all those things. And then performance, though, is another payoff for having that combination that very few manufacturers have been able to accomplish in speaker design. And that's saying a lot, because think of how many speaker manufacturers they are. So this was my first time hearing the Mark II. I featured the Mark I at the Hardest Core audiophile, and I'll get to him later. He's here. But this is my first time seeing the Mark II, and it had a motorized structure for the mid-range and tweeters to give you a little bit of different control based on your listening position, your room, preferences, taste. Never really seen that before on a speaker, but it was executed perfectly. I asked them, if you watch the video, to do a demo while playing, and so that was very impressive. Not so much in the huge delta of changing it dramatically, but just subtle differences that I can see people wanting to play with that and giving you that extra level that is expected in high end, especially at these price points that don't give you some of these variable controls that inevitably come down to preferences. So that was really cool, very seamless. Again, beautiful finish. The electronics there was top notch from Vetus. And so I really enjoyed that. That's going to be a room you would definitely want to demo. It did have a few things that I always look for from a sound quality perspective. I was able to get goosebumps when I heard a choir track. Some of the music I'm going to save for after show coverage to fill in the blanks. I don't want to inundate you with long 10-minute videos of just songs right now, because I know you guys, you want to just see a lot of content and actual gear. I'll have a little bit of that in the future from that demo of more music, but he played some good songs that resonated with me in terms of goosebump quality music and performance, and also very good job with volume control. That's a room that's not really the most ideal for bass. It's more of a cube setup that can be very problematic, but they played it at a perfect volume that didn't really exacerbate any room issues with the bass. Sounding really good. And from a realism perspective with vocals in particular, that really stood out to me as among the best of the best I've heard. So kudos to them, not even having a ton of time to set up. That was performing at true cost no object reference level. So that Estalon Mark II, I kind of said, is this a new contender for best in the world? And I don't like to use best. There's no best universally for everybody, but it's definitely, if you're looking for what could be the best in the world for you, this is a speaker you should definitely demo if you come to Axpona. Now, on top of that, in that same vein, I got to go visit, prior to opening, the Wilson Benesh room and the Ari Surratt room. Now, Ari Surratt, if you've been a long-time subscriber, you know it's one of my favorite brands, one of the brands that can do it all from speaker to source, and everything, and do it at a super high level. And certainly in the tube realm, it's probably the only company I can think of that can do that. And then MBL on the solid state realm are two of my tops in those brands that do it all. So Ari Surratt didn't disappoint. The stuff that they released, I had a showcase of a new DAC. That thing is a tour de force. But the takeaway from today is a company I haven't really talked about a lot, speaker-wise, Wilson Benesh. I've always been a fan of them, although they've been away from the show scene for a while, so you haven't seen them in my best of videos after shows. But I remember 4 years ago at Rocky Mountain, their isobaric bass with their reference model really resonated with me. This was before I even had a channel, so you're not going to find anything from me on it, but I was able to get a little bit more behind the scenes, get to know their lead sales rep here, and great guy. This is a high quality company that builds their own drivers in-house. So I'd love to do a tour of their facility at some point if I'm in England, because this is the kind of company that separates itself from others, just like Estalon does, MBL, and Magico. These are the kind of companies I like to focus on that really have unique aspects that you can respect. Even if you don't like the sound particularly to your taste, these are companies that do things that are worthy of your respect. So kudos to them. Edgar is getting his room set up. I'm gonna have a ton of stuff from there, but I didn't want to dedicate too much of that time today. But be sure to come to that room again. I mentioned they put in the program the wrong room, so it's 1102, and I'll be doing some demos of that. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, or even better, a member, you know my number, so you can schedule a private demo. We'll try to accommodate what we can there. But anyway, looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys. Look for me. I brought the hat, not the heaviest hat. This one's a lot more comfortable. So I'll be easy to find. Crazy stuff. Oh, somebody was asking about the watch I was wearing. I featured this on a recent video. I did get stopped tonight for my guitar watch. So I got rings. I'm easy to find, basically. So don't be bashful. Say hi. And I look forward to seeing you soon.